I'll just not use the headphone.
Yes.
Okay.
Got disconnected.
Yeah, I fixed the problem. It's not gonna happen again. It was the network, and I
Okay.
went and checked it out and took care of it immediately. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Is it too loud for you guys?
No, we're good.
Everybody's good. Awesome. So I think we're gonna have a nice day today, and we're gonna go back to what what we already started. The We're gonna do the Python, and I know a lot of you guys are already getting a hang of it already, doing amazing things with it. So what's everybody now? Okay. Right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So everybody here now? Everybody here?
I'm here. I think
Okay, I'm
so.
glad. Okay, now we can roll out. We can start immediately. So welcome everyone. This is day 13 in the IT Foundation and AWS Cloud Training. And this class is implemented by Each One Teach One, supported by Lockdown LLC. We thank Lockdown LLC for the funding. And we also appreciate you guys coming and showing up with a lot of passion and enthusiasm. So we're gonna go ahead and continue with Python training. And before that, I wanted to know if there are difficulties anyone is facing. And I also wanted to know how far in some of the homework that we had people have gone through them. And the final one is the Fibonacci sequence that I gave. That's pretty much high school work. But I gave it because not because I want you to be so special or the best that is. I want you guys to have the understanding of the logic behind what the programmers are doing. That way, you will be inspired to come up with new ways of doing things for yourself. That's the reason I sent that so that you can understand the logic. So, some of you I know will make it very interesting when they have gone through it. And as a matter of fact, that's what's required to make things interesting and bring life into things. So now, if anybody has something, they can go ahead and let us know about it. Like any question problems, we can actually deal with it right away before we move forward.
Hi, Josiah. I'm wondering, is it okay if you put the how to put the name when you did the name and the age thing in there? Because I was watching the video back, but as a little bit of it was the left-hand side was cut off, so I couldn't see the coding to do it properly. Please.
Okay, no problem. I think I have to type MU, capital MU, I think. Okay. All right, so we did this. You're talking about this one, right? When we're doing the one-liners, right? Here, right?
Can you share your screen, please?
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm using one monitor today, so and I have this many things all over the place, so it's gonna be a challenge for me. But I'll get you what you need. I just have to find where it is. Okay, so I share the screen here. I'll just have the entire screen, which is one. I don't have two there. I normally will have. So, upload. I think this is it. This is actually in the text. Yeah. So when we did this, you can see the screen now, right? Right? Ah, nobody can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So the basics. Trying to figure out where we did that. I think it's a literal constant, single quote, and we did this one string immutable. Is this where you're talking about? Right? Natalie?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's where you were talking about. Okay. So I had told you guys
Thank
that there's an inbuilt function that was built inside Python. It's a format function, and I've also explained that Python is a very nice language. It's not syntactically complex in that things are strictly defined, but indentation is strictly defined for it. So, for instance, when you have the age, which is a variable, and you go from left to right, you assign the 20 to the age, right? I have the name, you assign the row to the name, right? So you can also have a single quote to show that it's a string, literal, or you can have a double quote to show that. We also showed that you can have a triple quote when you already have a single or double quote inside. Then you can have a triple quote. So when we're doing this, we showed that print, what you see as the print is a function. Like if I go here and I type, if I go here now, I type Python, right? It will give me this, which tells me that I'm in the terminal for it. And if I say print, this is a function. Print is a function, but this is an empty, it's not gonna do anything. But if I go inside of it and I go like this, print, and I write cloud movement, right? One word, cloud movement. And then it will go ahead and it will print cloud movement. So now say if I declared a variable like age, last time I assigned, this is not equal to, it means that I'm assigning something to age. In this case, I assign it 46. I can choose to close it with a semicolon, okay? But if I leave it open, most of it 3 plus, Python 3 plus will understand. Now, if I put my name, which is this, Mezurike, I think most of you guys will like this language and most of you guys will get really good at it. That's all I can say. Me, I have a lot in my mind, but I'm still, can do well with it. Now I will write. Actually, that's not the right way to do it. I will assign a variable. My name is my name. So name now becomes a variable. Please leave it in lowercase. And then you go here and you do double quotes is okay. You can do that, but keep it uniform. If you like, you can have a syntax ending symbol there if you like, and that. So now you want to print, right? Remember last time when we were talking about, we said there's an inbuilt function called format, which we use here, right? You know, to print, you have to print, and this here, this is the closing for the print. But inside, whatever that's inside this print is what's gonna be printed, okay? Whatever that's inside the print is what's gonna be printed. But this here is a function which could other people call format, but it takes two arguments. That simply means whatever you see this parenthesis, zero, whatever it is, if it's a zero, and in Python it tells us by when you have a variable assigned in this way and you have this format function in this way, it simply means that whatever this is what you're gonna see in here. And we tried it the other way around and we found out it's the same thing. So now let's go ahead and and try it. When it comes to writing code, it's about good memory. Remember, it's about good memory. Most people that have good memory, they don't even have to know math. They just write good code. You know, so that's that. So let's go ahead and print something. Okay, let's go ahead and print something now. So I write Python. Okay, so we did age, did 0.6. See, it took it, and then we did name. I put my last name there. It's gonna take it as well without closing it. Consistency is the key here. So, oh, can somebody tell me why we get that error? Can somebody tell me why we got the error?
Because there's no bracket or no parentheses.
Exactly. No, no, no. Yes, no quotation mark, because that quotation mark shows it's a string, right?
Okay.
Quotation mark shows it's a string. Like, oh man, this is a string. That's basically what you're saying. But now to print the name, to print the name, remember I said this here. This here is a print function, right? So whatever you put inside is what's gonna be printed, right? So you go, okay, if I do print, um, you see, you do the parenthesis zero, zero one, zero, no, not zero, zero, close it, the parenthesis. Okay, so the zero there that we have there could be anything. It's the format function that will show what is actually the zero. Okay, so we say zero is about um whatever. We put parentheses again, we put the one. We're gonna remember what we are doing here so that when we put it in the format, and then it will work fine. Okay, let's say it was about when I'm gonna write iFACT. Okay, which is the command movement. So I want to close this now. To close it, I put the single quote again, and I go here and I demonstrate that I'm starting something new. I go comma. Now, not comma, full stop, right? Dot format, and I do this. Now, if I want my name to be the first thing that's there, what do? I put name here, and then the age. Then I put age here, and I close, so that when I say print, it's gonna print what I want in there. But if you look carefully, you'll see that there's something missing here. Can somebody say it? Because the print function is a function of itself. It has to have what to close it.
Is it the colon or semicolon?
It will have to close first. It will have to close with this, right? See it? Because the format function is of its own now. Then the print is the one from here to here is the print function. Everything that's in there is gonna be printed, right? Right? Just like this one over here. Dot format, H comma, and all of that. All right. So do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So now let's go back again and get it. Let's go back again and get it. So the print function is very important in anything, in any programming language. Okay. If you write print function like this, what do you get? If you write print function like that, what do you get?
Is there an error message?
Mm-mm. Right now, what are you looking at?
It's a command to write something.
Okay. You have print, right? Print. This here, this bracket is telling you it's a function.
Okay.
When you see print and you see this something like this, it's always function in programming language. So when you see format, you see dot format, this is also a function. But this function doesn't work alone. It takes an argument. Okay? It takes an argument. It doesn't work alone. But print function works alone. When you do print function like this, you are telling it to print nothing. Okay? Just print null. It prints null. But if you go print, if you want to print a string, you say print nice one, and you close it. It's gonna print nice one, and you close it. So now what I'm trying to show now is in Python, it is so easy. You can declare the variable and make the variable work whichever way you like. You can make you can grab a sentence and turn it into any type. So, but in Python, it doesn't have a strict rules of types like integer type, string type, this type, floating number, double. It doesn't have that, but you can change things whichever way you want. So I don't know if this is enough for you to understand how to play with the word, I mean with the strings. And
Yeah, I've done it now.
oh, you've
Thank
done it
you.
already?
Yeah, I was doing it as you was going along because I kind of remembered it, but it's just like it was just the function bits I couldn't remember.
Uh-huh. Okay, good. I'm glad you did. So now remember
Thank you.
we have this thank you. We have this method of one liner. Remember, always remember there's okay, this method of one liner, but we also have where you can save what when you use this PyCharm, you can save. Always remember, PyCharm editor is not a one liner, it's full blown. And some of you guys installed it. Everybody installed PyCharm? No? No? Can people hear me?
Yes, I have it.
Guitar? No, I didn't install. I had something else that I was using.
Okay, you have something else you are using, right? PyCharm. I thought we all installed it, but anyway, I showed you guys the PyCharm and I showed you guys the repo. I don't know if anyone of you installed the repo. I think repo is also good.
No, that's what I used. The REPL, I used that. That's what I had in my last class, so that was good.
Oh, okay. You know about it already.
Yeah, I do. That's what I like
REPL
using.
IDE, awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me see if I can find mine where I had it. I think the REPL IDE, you have to use MU to get it up, I think. So I'm not sure. Because if I had it here, I should be able to see it. RE REPL. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this one. I think he used this one to bring it up. New. I just saw it. Okay, he used this one. Mu. So this one is very interesting. It has a very simple interface. It has a simple interface. So for the string, I think we did the string. It looks good. We demonstrated that even if you don't put anything in there, like as here, it will still recognize it once it's declared here. We demonstrated that. And we went ahead and also demonstrated that even if you put the names, even if you put the name instead of putting like the index notation, like using numerals to identify what's in here, it will still go ahead and follow whatever you define here. Whatever you define here is what's gonna go in here. So name is equal to my name and age is equal to my age. So if you come here and write name and age, it will obey you. It will do what you want it to do. So we showed that, and we went ahead and I showed that even if you just directly do it without using the format function, you still get the same thing over here. So the mu is up. Actually, I have a couple of them. So now REPL is this one. I like REPL because it's not a one-liner. You can write a full-blown code and you go ahead and do what you need to do. So now let's continue from where we stopped in the Python, unless somebody else has something else. And we'll go ahead and do that. So here we have what Python does in the format is what we're going to talk about. So in the format method, some languages call it function. In Python is pretty much method. What it does that it substitutes each argument value into the place of the specification. There can be more detailed specifications such as you have here. So this is a like the F is pretty much it's just an F, floating point number. Maybe we'll find out how many decimal places that is. So if you can copy this, I've already taught you guys what the print function does. What does the print function do?
It basically prints what you have within the bracket. So it'll print.
Exactly. It's a method that prints what you
Yeah,
have in the bracket. All right.
right.
So now look at the format here. You see, you have the format method here. You remember what it says is substitute whatever you have. Remember here, it says it substitutes each argument value into the place of the specification. The spec is the variable that is put in place. Now for this one here, it will substitute this for the spec we have here. Okay, so let's go ahead and print and see what we get. So from what you see here, think as a programmer. What do you think this means? Just think from what you see here. I want to be able to show and teach it where you tell what it is. That way you know. It's not so much of theory, so much of practical, what you see. Now, from what you see here, see, you see this here, and you see this here. What do you think this means.
Is it floating?
F is a floating number, but there's something else from what we see here. How many decimal places is this?
So is it 3 decimal places?
That's right. So you have 3 there. So from what we've seen now, is it possible that we can play with it and see if what we are saying is correct? So let's go and change that to maybe 5 and see what we get. See, this is how I learn. This is how I teach myself. Teach myself by doing. So let's see what happens here. Does it look like we are correct or we're wrong, guys? Hmm? Did you say something?
So with that, it basically took it just 5 place. Yeah, 5 floating for the decimal place. So you can change it.
Exactly. So that tells us we're correct. It's a floating number, it's not a double. For those who know the double, you know the double have to stop at the 2, right? Now, this floating number, you can go as long as possible, righty? Now, with that being said, that means if you put a 4 there, you get 4 decimal places. See? Put a 4 there, you get 4 decimal places. So it tells us that the floating number there, whatever you change it to, is what's going to show you. And if you change that to nothing, let's say if we just have F, what do we get? It's an error because it don't work like that. But let's say if we do a 1, we get a 1 decimal place. See? So that's how that one works. So we're gonna deal with it from experiential level. So the decimal, which is this dot position of 3 for the float, da 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 da. So now it's gonna substitute each argument value into the place of the specification. This is the spec here, and this is the argument that is right here, right? So this argument is one in the sense of decimal divided by 3. So that way you get a floating number. But if you do it 1 divided by 3, it's gonna be funny. Like if you just did 1 divided by 3, then the answer is gonna give you, you're not gonna like it. Not that bad. It's okay. 1 divided by 3. These are all integers, right? One integer divided by another integer. Okay. But when you do it this way, it has a decimal place. See? You get the same thing though. But when an integer divides an integer, sometimes the answer you get looks funny. Like, okay, let me see. Let me see a good example that I can use. Like when you do 3 over 2, let's see what we get. The answer is good. So like I said to you, Python is a very well written language. In some languages, when you do this kind of division, you get something that will shock you. But in Python, it's well structured. Whichever way you write it, it gives you, try to give you the right answer. So now moving forward, so we're going back to the print, but this time it's been the hello, and the hello is the argument, okay? And what you have inside the left side of the print is the spec. So let's do this and see what we get. We're gonna do it step by step. and we're gonna see what we get. Can somebody tell me what we get, please, from what they're seeing? I want you to tell me what you think
So
first. Remember
you're
when we had
printing
the
out
dot?
hello.
When we had the dot over here. So what are we saying with this underscore raised to the power of 11? What are we doing with it?
Is that the underscore length either side?
So he's saying to do underscore into how many places? Huh?
You're saying 11, right? So you're splitting it up between it.
Exactly. So that's how it's done. But
So
when
you're
it comes
putting
to
the
do it into
space.
two,
Oh, okay.
when it comes to do it into two, it did nothing. But we're gonna try and test its patience to see when it started doing something. And you have to remember 2 is an even number. So we tried 3. You did nothing. And we're gonna try its patience again. We do 4. It did nothing. So what does that tell us? That's the reason why they did 11. We're about to find out. So now that one makes no difference. So let's do an 8 and 9 and see what we get. Aha! Does that make sense now?
Yeah, I think too because the hello has one, two, what?
Hello is already 5.
5 in there.
Exactly.
5, right? So it would have to be more, right?
So what
Because
he
it's going to
did
print
is
hello, but you're saying print space.
exactly. So what he did now is
Or print the lines.
added more hyphen to make it into 11. Okay? He added more hyphen to make it into 11. This tells us when we do 6, something strange happens, and he's gonna surface the hyphen when we do 6. So you have to learn like this. See? Right? Right, people? He surfaced it. He surfaced it. It's not preface. So now when we do, it surfaced it when we do 7, it's gonna go the other way around, I believe. Let's see what it does. It went the other way around. Now when we do 8, it's gonna go this way around. So what does that tell you? Python will start to put the hyphen at the suffix, at the end of the word. Then if it's gonna put the next one, it goes to the beginning of the word. If it's gonna put the next one, then it goes to the left side again, which is the end of the where it put the other one. So when we do an 8, you guys will understand what is going on more clearer. So Python is a very easy to see exactly what I've said. So when we do 9, it's gonna start at the prefix. So let's do 9. 10 is gonna go at the suffix. We do 9. See, at the beginning, it evened it out. So now I do 10, it's gonna do it at the suffix again. So now you guys have an understanding of how the underscore is playing. So when you decide to use underscore to do something, you know what to expect. See that? See? So when we do 11, it's gonna go the other way around. So let's do 11. There you go. That's it. So when you see it has 3 on one side, 3 on one side, then 6 plus that, it wraps hyphen around the string. Basically, that's what it's doing. It wraps hyphen around the string. So that's that. So we've learned that. We're good. So we move to the next one. Okay. So this one here is still using the print function, and you have the name and wrote the book. Um, whoever it is Swallow wrote book dot format names book. This is straight to the point. So you declare in the print function, you declared the variables right inside the print function, just like that. You declare the variable right inside the print function, right? I've shown you guys this before, so let's do it again. So now, whose name are we gonna do with print? Remember, this is the method. We go inside. We say whatever the name is. We say we just say name. Okay, let's just say name belongs. Name belongs to a class, right? Um, Let me see something quickly. How I can make it give us what we need it to give us. How I can make it give us. Okay, I think I have an idea how to do that. Okay, I will just do current name belongs to a class. Belongs to. I will just say class, right? And somebody tell me the error there. There's an error here, right? Right. So,
You need to close the parentheses. Oh,
that's right. So I think I do, I didn't put any, I think I should do this, because these are like, I didn't find a better way to do it, because the way they did here is quite different. These are, yeah, I think I should just close it all up like this. I think like that. Yeah. So we close it up like that. Name belongs to that class, comma. Then we do the format function. Now we're gonna declare what they are. Like that name, what does name mean? It should be your name, right? The user's name, like maybe it should be my name, like Josiah. So I have to demonstrate it's a string actually. It's a string, and then I go comma, and then class is what? Cloud movement, in it. Cloud movement. Yeah, it should be this.
Hi, Josiah, can you turn up your volume? I can barely hear you.
Oh, the volume is down. Wow, this is the highest it can get. Uh, can, can can you hear me at all? No,
Yes, I'm hearing you, but you're very low.
I'm very low.
But I'm hearing you. Just keep going. I'm hearing you.
Okay.
It's just that it's low.
So I declared all this, but it seems like it didn't do it as I wanted it to do it. So let's see what I might have done wrong here. Okay. Like I said, you have to be consistent. You see here I used single, but on the other side I used double quotes, so it wasn't consistent. So and then format, this is the name. This is the name. This is a class. So let me try it again. See if it gives me what I want. Okay. Didn't give me what I wanted. So I'm gonna copy it. And I'm gonna paste it again. Okay. So can somebody tell me the error here, please? Remember, the print method is a method of its own, and format is a method that takes an argument which is used to substitute a specification with a variable. So we have specs here, name and class, and we have declared the variable in the format function, so you have to close it too. Once you close it, then you work with it. But we have a problem here. Let's see if we can fix this. Print name belongs to class, format name, class movement. There's a syntax error, invalid syntax. So let's figure it out where the error is. It says line 1. Print name.
Maybe we have 2 colons instead of 1.
That could be it. Let's try
Or
that.
parentheses.
Let's try that.
PRINT.
Yeah, the PRNT spelling is correct. This one here.
Names in one bracket.
What the problem is. Zero and one. I thought that you can use both, either one or. Let's try this.
PRINT.
That's what I've been using.
Name 0.
It's still the same thing, so there is an error there. So let me see. We have name. I don't have a comma there. Comma. Comma 2.
Maybe to colon.
Can mute your stuff now. So here I have the comma here. The name, this name and this name, they are spelled the same, right?
I think it's something to do with print because in the first one, print is in green, but it's saying that print is in. No, it's the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Sorry.
I think there's a problem somewhere which I haven't completely seen, but I hope to identify it quickly soon. But the print is the right way, I think. Print, right? I go like this, and I say now, single quote or double quote will work. It doesn't matter. So I go like this, and I go name. I close it up. I go belongs to class. I didn't have to declare the variable again because okay, it's dot, not comma. Then I do format, and I do this. So now I'm declaring the variable, and I'm assigning it to the name, which is this. It could be anything. So it could be anything. Let's say we put that, and we differentiate that from the next one. We do. Then the class actually it's gonna work this time. It's just that I haven't the syntax, the way I put things were not the right way. So now we close this one and close this one. So can we look at this carefully and see what we did wrong in the past one? Guys, over to you. The syntax, the
It
structure
kind of
is
looks
not
the
right.
same, right?
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying what you did looks the same. However, Do you have to
indentation.
put quotes around the when you're declaring the variable? Do you have to have the quotes around that?
When you declare the variable, you have to write the quote around them. And remember, the indentation is very important in Python. Indentation is
Okay.
important in Python. But we still have the problem still. And now I'm looking at where it is specifying that the problem lies. If we look at here, so I have an idea. I should change the class to some different name. Like if I say that
After the comma before class.
after the comma before class, right here, that's a full stop.
It's there.
Is here. You say there's a
Yeah.
problem here.
You need to put a space there.
Oh, okay. Right here. There should be a space here.
No, not there. You see where you got name, Maru, comma. There needs to be space before you write class, maybe.
Name Maru comma. Oh, okay. Here. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Most likely you are correct here. You are correct. Thank you. You see, indentation is very, very important in Python. It is easy, simple language to write, but if you don't have the right spacing, you ain't going nowhere. So, with that being said, thank you to Rescue. Let's go back and put the double quotes to make sure so that in the future, when you have this kind of error, you will know already what it is. That it's not, maybe it's not the double quotes, it's the spacing. First, let's try a mismatch. Mismatch is correct. It doesn't matter. I've proven it right now. So we have a single here, we have a double here, and it still worked. So you see how convenient this programming language is, guys. For my years and experience in the field, I've never seen a programming language where you can do stuff you can do with Python. That's why I'm encouraging you guys to take it up on yourself to learn it. It's used in artificial intelligence. It's used in anything you can think of nowadays. So you must know this. You see, mismatch is not a problem. Then when we use the double quotes, it's still not a problem. So the most important thing is the spacing that's needed here. So if you have a good memory, you do very well. You understand logic, you have good memory, you know what the functions and the methods are doing, your life is good. So the rest will be history for you. So now we've been able to, we mastered this when it comes to wrapping around the hyphens. Okay, we've mastered that. Then we also mastered the print method and the format method. We know what to do with them. Now, since we are discussing formatting, note that print always ends with invisible new line, right? Okay, like if you put a backward slash n, it's telling you, it's, you know how in the keyboard in a printer you say new line. That's what it is. That's new line. That backward slash n is new line. So the repeated call to print will all print on separate line each time if you do that. So to prevent this new line character from being printed, you can specify that it should end with a blank, like that. So let's demonstrate what they're talking about. So if you do print A end and you print B end, both are going to appear in the same line. But if you don't do that, let's see what we get. So you specify is the keta, right? Right? Mm-hmm. And you print B, right? Mm-hmm. So you get that. But if you do print This is gonna be interesting. You print A, right? A, right? Put a comma. It's the end. Equal to, you do this, right? And you close it. This is gonna be interesting. A. Let's do the next one according to what they said. B. Did somebody leave? Print B. So you do that. And you're gonna be like this. That's exactly what they said. So I don't see the difference. Let's go back. Maybe we made a mistake. Let's go back and see. So we did this and we did print. Output is a B. End with a blank. Okay, let's go back and see what we did wrong there. I wonder why. Is everybody here? Okay. So we did print, right? A. Okay. And we did this space. You end it.
I noticed with Python, it is the spacing a lot of times with the variables. So if you're putting two spaces as it's showing, it'll do ABC together.
Like you see what I did now? See? But if I do print, hold on. If you do B, it's supposed to do it. This is end, right? It says if we do the end, we assign the end. No, we did use the end and assign just a blank like that. It should be able to print AB, but it's not printing AB for us. Okay, but I do know that if you do print like that, if you do like this, and it goes to new line in it.
Is it because both commands are supposed to be on the same line, Desire?
Let me see. What is your argument? Like, is it because it's not on the same line you said?
No, I'm asking like if you put print A and so the line of print A and the line of print B, like like one underneath the other before you hit enter. Do you get what I mean? Instead of separately. Hold
Oh, I
on.
see what you mean. So I got you. Let's try that. So you're saying, why don't we do this? You're saying, why don't you do A and you go like that, and then you go like that, and then you do this. But they're not together the way we wanted it. Like,
Look, AB.
yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. I don't think it's that way, but I will do it. I don't think it's like this because it's simple. We can always do it like this. You know what I mean? But what I was thinking that it was is if you type, you see how it says print like that. This is what I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
as the input. And you come here, we type, you paste that as the input, right? Meaning that, let's see. You see how it is?
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's what I'm thinking. If we do it this way, then we get the answer we're looking for. Okay, let's try it. Uh-oh. So it didn't do it. Okay, it did it. It did it. You see it?
Oh yeah.
I'll do it again. AB. So that's how you do it. Because the end equal to blank means I don't want it to go to the new line. I just want them to be together. So we have to follow what the book says. step by step, and then we'll have enlightenment. We'll learn. So you can also do this. They're allowing us to have a space here too. So that means you then have a space. You see, this with this one, okay, this is actually good. Let's do space, and we come down here, do space. Sorry. See, you have space now. And now,
Ah,
yes, you get it because we put a space here. See, there is no space here. It's regular standard spacing. But on this side, we actually put a space there. And now we can even add another thing here. We can go and we can say print. We can do a C, something like a C or whatever, anything, and we'll have a space. We can also end it if we want. We do end like that. Is equal to this. We can space it out. That means we will have a space in front of it too. See? So let's do this. See? A B C D. ABC actually. So that's that. So that means we are going step by step. So now let's learn about escape sequence. So escape sequence. Suppose you want to you have a string which contains a single quote like that. How will you specify this string? For example, like what is your name? How would you make it come through when you print it? So in order to make it come through when you print it, you have to escape it. So you cannot specify what's your name like a long string like it, because Python will be confused as to where the string starts and ends. So we will have to specify that the single quote does not indicate the end of the string. This can be done with the help of what is called escape sequence. So you specify a single quote as what you see right here, like as in what is your name? Like, okay, let's demonstrate that. So notice the backslash. Now we specify the string as what's your name, like that. So another way to specify the specific string would be what's your name? What is your name, like that? That is using double quotes. Okay. Now similarly, you have to use the escape sequence to for using a double quote itself in quoted string. Also, you have to indicate the backslash itself using the escape sequence. In this case, you can use um I think it's a double backslash like that. Using a double quote itself in a double quoted string, it's also you have to indicate the backslash itself using the escape sequence. That's a little confusing. So what's your name? You use the double quote. You can use the double quote to do it. So let's try that and see what we get. So there are two things. This is the first sequence, and then this is the second sequence. All right, let's try. Let's try and see what we get. So you want to print what's your name? Print. You go into the method and you write. You can use single quote. What's your name? Me and you know it's gonna be a problem because single quote is usually we use it to show that this is a string. Now all of a sudden we have it as a part of the sentence, right? So in common sense we have it that we're gonna have a problem here. So say print what's your name. So when we go print it, it's gonna be an error. How can we fix it? Can somebody tell me how we can fix this? There are two ways they showed us we can fix it. This is the second way they showed us, right? So what is the other way they showed us? Is everybody here?
The backslash, yeah,
That's
backslash
right.
after the T, yeah.
So what is the name for the backslash? What is the name?
That would be.
What
What
is
do
the
you mean?
name?
What is the name?
Is it not escape sequence?
Oh, escape sequence. Okay.
I think it's before.
Mhm.
It's before the thing, not after. Should be like this.
Yeah, it's before the backslash is right after the T, and then you have the
Yeah, it's before
apostrophe.
the single quote or the apostrophe S. So what's your name? So we are learning something interesting. We are learning that if you see how beautiful this language is. So you have an apostrophe in your string. Why don't you use a double quote? And then if double quote is not where you want to go, say you're sending the string to an API using JSON format, you then use the escape sequence, which we've done in this way. Okay. So there's another thing that was said. I don't know if it's a uh, double backslash. Let's do that. That's the way it was said. Maybe we should take a look at it again. That's the way it was said there. We said there that another way specifying the specific string would be what's your name. That is using double quotes. Similarly, you have to use an escape sequence for using a double quote. Okay, we've done that. Then it's saying that also you have to indicate the backslash itself using the escape sequence. So I don't know where they have applied it, but let's see. What if you wanted to specify a two-line string? Okay, one way is to use a triple quoted string as shown previously. Okay, so can somebody kind of figure out how to write a two-line string? You can do a new line, and there's still another way to do it. You can do a new line like this, right? You can do it to a new you can do that. You can do print, and you go and you put whatever you want to put within the method like that. But if you use this here, remember what this is. This is a new line. That n symbolizes a new line, so that you have two lines of the same thing. I mean, two lines, pretty much two lines. So these are one of the ways you can have a string. You can split a string of sentence into two lines. So the double quotes simply means logically they are all the same. Okay, but this here /n is telling you it's a new line. Okay, that shows that's a new line. All right, so that one is taken care of. So you see right here, or you can use an escape sequence for the new line character. So while you have this one as an escape sequence where you have a sentence with apostrophe and you want to represent it using a single quote, you have to escape it. Okay. Now, for a sentence, you want to split it into two lines so you can have also an escape sequence, which it is interpreted to a new line, and you can have that. So another useful escape sequence is known as the tab, which is T. Okay, that's the T. So this one is the same thing, only that it will move you up a tab. Like one thing to note is that in a string backslash at the end of the line indicates that the string is continued in the next line. You see here, if we have to print this, it means that the string continues in the next line. So if you write all this, if you copy all this and paste it, it's gonna show you the same thing we just seen. Let's put it here. So this string logically is saying this string is continuing the next line. So it doesn't matter how you wrap it. All we know that when you print, it's gonna be that one line. Are you guys with me here?
We're here. I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So most of the time when you see it like this, it's logically telling you, usually in a code, you see it in a code, it's okay, that continues in a new line and stuff like that. So don't forget, if you are using double quote, right? Say you have to escape something in a, you're already using double quote for any kind of string. Don't forget to use double escape in that case. All right, let's move forward.
Okay.
So for instance, if you have something like, use this and you go hello like that, and then you go now I close this off with 1 2 3, and let's see what we get. So can somebody show me what's wrong here, what I could have done to fix it? I did everything right. I have a double quote, I had a single quote. Actually, I had I have a double quote, and I have a triple quote.
There's a single quote at the beginning and a double. Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's right then.
No, I'm talking about here. Something was wrong here. What could I have put here to set the record straight? Remember, for the escape, if you have a single quote, you should have it like that. Oh, okay. That that. What do you guys suggest we do here? You guys see what my problem is?
Yeah, can you put the double quotes? Yeah, well, you have the single and double quote. Yeah.
So, do you guys see what I'm struggling with here? Do you guys see what happened now?
Yeah.
So when you started with the triple ones, you don't put the double in there.
There you
Just
go.
keep it.
Not necessarily you
Okay.
don't put the double in there. This is what it is. When you have the triple quote, you can have the double, but when you want to do when you have like apostrophe, it's better to use single, so you can escape it, escape the apostrophe. Okay, to prove the point, we can have another. So we have that. We can have a single quote and say, okay, I said hello here. What if we say, um, what if we say nice? We just say nice like that. And let's say we close it with a double quote, right? Let's see what we get. Okay, when we do nice and we close it with a double quote, we get all of this. This is not right. So what it's telling us is we have to be consistent. Whatever is inside, we have to be consistent on it. So like right here, we have a single quote here, and here it is no nothing like that. And here we have nice double quote, and we get that. But now when we have a single quote, we get that. But let's do a double quote here and see what we get. Let's try it. Because we tried it before, right? And we got something that is not good at all. Same thing. So we'll go back. So we have to be consistent. If we're consistent, we win. So if we want to do just that, we just do that one. So now, if we remove the escape sequence, it could be all right. He gave us the escape sequence again. So what are we taking home here, guys? Maybe you see what I see. What are we taking home?
I think there's more than one way to do it. I think with Python, that's the beauty of it.
There's many ways to do it, seriously.
Yeah.
But one that worked for us is when we kept it as a single quote. We kept it as a.
And I think too, when you're consistent the way you do it, what works for you.
Huh?
Yeah, I was going to say being consistent, what works for you. You know what I mean in terms
Being
of when you're writing the code.
So if we have this way, then it simply means that if we kept this one single quote like Natalie said, we should be fine. If we do single quotes here and then do our escape right here, then everybody's happy. Jack and Jill are happy. So keep that in mind. Yeah, we do it this way. Jack and Jill, they're happy, and because remember, there's a secret here I'm gonna reveal. Remember, when you do a triple quote, it means that all these are running the same line, one line. So if that's the case, what you have inside there should be consistent, because already we do know that they're all the same line, but however, because of this apostrophe, you wanted to demonstrate and tell Python that there's an apostrophe here, therefore you did this, right? Therefore that's why we did that. But in order for it to show us what we need, we don't need the double quote for this. The single quote will solve the problem, and the single quote, as you can see, solved the problem. And you put this whole thing in quotation mark, which is actually what we wanted to achieve. See, that's what we wanted to achieve. Assuming that we don't want this in quotation mark, we could have just done like this. Hopefully we get the same answer or something close. Hello, what is your name? See? Hello, what's your name? So the what is your name is not in quote anymore. So this is some of the tricky stuff. So the triple quote puts the stuff in quotation. Now all of it are the same in one line. So the formatting and escape sequencing helps you to get rid of or show clearly like possessive words that are there, like what's your name, etc., etc. So we're able to get the best we can out of that. So we learned about the escape sequence, we learned about the new line, and we also learned about the tab. But let's try to use a tab here so we can see. The textbook doesn't show us everything sometimes. So for the tab, let's say we put this here, T here, and we go like that. Well, that's not what we wanted. Maybe I should put it at the very end. Tab should have been in you. If I put it, here, maybe it would demonstrate its power. So we do that. So it didn't demonstrate what we wanted to demonstrate. But rather, if we did n, it would have been different. Let's see. Still wasn't different at all. I think we don't have to give any space on the side in this case. Still, we didn't demonstrate what we wanted. We go back here. We try.
You need a space after the N, I think.
Okay. The space after the N. I think I need to remove the whole N actually. I need to remove the whole N. What I'm trying to do is to see what that tab does. I believe in other programming languages, it tabs. You know how you push a tab on your computer?
Yeah.
I believe that's what it does, but this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to do print. I'm gonna do. Oh shoot! I'm gonna do print. I'm gonna use the method for print. Okay, and we're gonna put all of that inside the print, and then we're gonna put our tab here. See if it makes any difference. And we're gonna go here. I'm gonna try to close it and see what happens. So we have hello, what's your name? I thought you should come with us. Tab. Did you guys notice the difference? Any difference noticed? The double quote is gone. The double quotation is gone. So let's do a new line. A space was created before the line was created. And let's go ahead and do more stuff with it. Okay, I removed everything. Do you see how it normally appears in print? Guys?
Yeah, it's
Now,
brought it because it brought
let
it
me
right up to the left hand
exactly.
side of the tab.
All right.
Oh,
Now let's tab it and see what we get. Voila.
yeah.
That's it. That's what I was expecting. So it's like when you tab in a document, Word document. So it should be that. So that makes sense. So with that being said, we know we got that down pat. So now let's go to the middle of the print function and see. So we're just playing without the print function itself. That's why we're getting all that. So take note of that. So we do this, see, new line, right? Hello, what's your name? I thought you should come with us. That's it, right?
Right. So again, using the triple quotes and the double quote, what's really the difference?
So the triple quote with the when you use the triple quote, you get remember it puts the quotation. It puts the quotation for you, like here. It puts the quotation if you are not using the print function. Then if you are using the print function and you do it, you get the normal stuff you're supposed to get. Now, if you use the print function and you use the new line sequence, it simply means you will create a line here first before it prints. You will create an empty space line here, the row, and then print. It spaces out the line that you are going to print it on. That's all. Does it make sense, ladies?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that
very
makes
good.
sense. Yeah.
So always keep using your that logical part of you. Always exercise it and use it. So we did that, we did this, we covered this. So let's play with raw strings. And playing with raw string, if you need to specify some string where no special processing is required, okay. So escape sequences are handled. Then what you need is to specify a raw string by prefixing R or capital R to string. An example is this they're given here. So what this one does, there's no special processing. You just want to escape. You just no special processing such as escape sequence are handled in this case. Then what you need is to specify a raw string by using this. So if you use this, which is the small letter, remember I'm not using, there's no kind of printing method here. So that's what it's saying. So we're just going and we're just interpreting what we have. Okay, new lines are indicated. See what it says? New lines are indicated with slash slash n. Okay, so let's go back. So for this, always use raw string when dealing with regular expression. Otherwise, a lot of back hacking. Oh, back whacking may be required. For example, back back references can be referred to as this or this. Regular expressions are very, very important in programming. If you understand regular expression, you are good. So there's a lot of stuff done with regular expression. Regular expressions are when you put together regular encoding that are used in everyday programming. When you know what they mean, example is when emojis started coming out back in the 90s. People realized that if you put colon D, it could be a smiley face and stuff like that. In programming, that could be likened to a regular expression when you know things that you can put together, special character, like alphanumeric special character you can put together and they represent certain things. So in programming, they have the same thing, which in this case will represent many, many interesting things. Okay, so that's what they meant here. So when I typed this, new lines are indicated by this. See, I remember I copied what they showed, and it showed me clearly this. New lines are indicated by this. Okay, now these are raw strings. I'm just spewing out raw strings, and it's giving me back. See, new lines are indicated by. So basically, this is telling you that it's not using any method or function, that it's just giving you what you typed in. Okay, assuming you don't use the R, let's see what we get in this case. That will help us to understand what we are doing. See, so that R there does an interesting stuff. It's using the back, what they call, I think is back whacking or whatever. So let's read the statement again. If you need to specify some strings where no special processing such as escape sequence are handled, then what you need is to specify a raw string by prefixing this or capital R to the string. An example is this. If we were specifying this escape to new line, then we use either R, small letter R, or capital letter R. That's it. That's what it's saying. No big deal. These are regular expressions. So for the variables, I already introduced variables. Variables are like parameters that are needed in a method function. And say a name has to be assigned to something. A name could be any name, any random name. So you have to assign a name to something. So if you are using a specific name like your name, you can make it equal to your name. So when you call a name in the method, or if you're using OOP in the class, when a member of the class calls the name, then they will go and grab whatever the name is in the whole code base. So the same thing applies there. So let's look at the identifier naming. So variables are example identifier. Identifiers are names given to identify something. There are some rules you have to follow in naming. So these are the rules you have to follow in naming. So pay attention to these rules. Like the first character of the identifier must be a letter of the alphabet. Uppercase ASCII or lower ASCII or Unicode character or an underscore. For instance, in naming, you have to name like I said print. I just double quoted. This is a name acceptable. I think this is acceptable. This is acceptable. Name up. So you can do this, and it's acceptable in Python. Okay, you can also the rest of the identifier name can consist of letters found in ASCII and Unicode characters, underscore, and also digits. Next, identifier names are case sensitive. For example, my name are not the same. Note that lowercase n in the former and the uppercase n in the latter. Example of value identifier name are I, name underscore 2 underscore 3. Example of the invalid identifier names are a number starting the name, spaces in the name, using hyphen, and using what they call greater equal sign and underscore. These are upper ants. So you can't use the upper ant. These are the identifier naming convention. So this is good when you say print. So you have a name. You have to name a variable. So you say a name, right? So we say name is always important, right? So we close this guy up and we go like this. Remember, I'm gonna use the format so that I can declare that name, what it means. Remember? So now that name, I'm declaring it here. So this is acceptable. All these are acceptable, like have underscore up 1 2. This is acceptable name, right? Okay, let's find where we have a problem. Name ptin is not defined. Oh, okay. Name here.
Were you trying to say print? I think maybe you just misspelled
Yeah,
it.
that's the problem. Should have said print as a ptin. So that method doesn't exist. I'm trying to say print doesn't exist. So the name there is acceptable according to the convention that they have. These are acceptable. It's always important. But what is not acceptable, guys? Can somebody help me to make this unacceptable? Maybe if I put this, is it gonna be acceptable? It's still acceptable name for a variable. Well, let's go back and see. Yeah, it says identifier variables are example of identifiers. There are some rules you have to follow. Oh, greater than sign. Okay, so let's try that. But still, took it. Examples of invalid identifier names are example. Oh, okay, that's correct. That's correct. Does anybody know why that's correct? Because it's referring to the variable. These are the variable. This here is what was assigned to the variable. So you can't have a variable like this variable here. You can't have like this. Let me change it. Let's make it clear. You can't. This wouldn't work. Like say I put in, I want to specify a name, and I put two name like that, and I go here and I say two name or whatever. I don't think this will work, right? You guys get it?
Right.
Okay, so like I don't think this one will work either. These are the variable, not what they are assigned to. So I don't think this one will work either. So not the string it was assigned to. String could be anything. Don't forget that one won't work either. So that's what they were referring to when they said variable are name identifiers. They are placeholders for name. Name identifiers, same thing. So now let's look at the data types. In Python, data types is so sweet. This language is sweet. You guys have to make sure you take it dearly to your heart. Variables can hold values of different types called data types. The basic types are numbers and strings, which we've already discussed which we'll discuss in later chapters. We'll see how to create our own types using classes. You get it? You can even create your own type using classes. So this is a very powerful language, yet very simple for anybody to understand. So remember we talked about the strict. We said there's no strict data type in Python at the beginning. Okay, so now let's talk about objects. Python refers to anything used in program as an object. Okay, it refers to anything used in this program as an object. This is meant in the generic sense. Instead of saying the something, we say the object. Okay, so Python is OOP, meaning object-oriented programming. So now we'll see how to use variable along with literal constants. Save the following example. Okay, we're gonna save. It's telling us to save the following example. Okay, now for those of you that downloaded PyCharm, there is they already have a code here that they want us to run. Okay, guys, and we're gonna do just that. If you haven't installed PyCharm, I know Judine might not be able to install PyCharm, uh, but we'll work with her on that. So for those of you that can install PyCharm, that already installed PyCharm, let's play a little bit with it. Okay, so this is what we're gonna copy, everything that's here. I'll make life easy for you guys. For those of you that don't have PyCharm, you can save this as a .py and go and run it. See, you just type Python and you type this file extension, it runs for you. So before I say anything, I'll just go ahead and do it first so you guys can see it. So first, I'll just call it using variable. I don't know what they call it here. but let's just call it using variable. So it says save as. I say using. See how I named it? Use. See, use var. That's how I named it. So now I'll just look for the folder where I have all the stuff I do with you guys. Maybe here. I say all files to help me find it. So I don't have it here. I wish I could find what I'm looking for. But anyway, since I'm not finding it, I'll just save this anywhere else. All right. I'll just save it anywhere else. I would have preferred to save it in where I have all you guys stuff, but okay, I'll save it here. It will be .py. So I saved it there. So let's look at the code itself. It says that I is a variable. You take the 5 and you assign it to I, and it says print I. So to print I is already a variable that's equal to 5. And then you take that 5 and you assign it to another 5 plus 1, and you say print I. You should get 11. And then you go S is equal to triple quote. This is a multi-line string, full stop. This is the second line, and you say print S. So this is basically all we've learned with literals. So now let's go and run this and see what we get. And to go run it, I'll just have to remember where I saved it. I believe I saved it in the pictures, which is, I saved it in the temp, which is here. So I'll just go to the temp and run this stuff. Okay, let's do it. So I'm gonna exit this. I'll just do Control Z. All right, so I'm just gonna do CD. Are you guys with me? Hello?
Yes, I'm following.
Okay. So I just want to do CD and then go to temp. Apparently it's not there. Then I just go out and I go to CD and I go temp and I go dir and I see all this stuff. So to run it, I'll go Python and I do use and let's go var.py and there you go. That's voila. That's running it. Very simple. And you can also run the whole code in REPL, which is here. This is why I love REPL. Oh, okay. Let me go copy it again. Guys, I am so happy that you guys are taking your time to learn this. When we learned it, we read a lot of book and it's a lot of headache. Now computer has made everything easy for y'all. Y'all can even come up with better ways and new ways of doing things that I've never even imagined. That's the future I see here. Please take this to heart. Don't play with it. Learn this. Be the best you can be in this. You will not regret it. I wish I was learning it at this time. Like I started my career at this time. That's all I can say. But I started way back when. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? So it's all here. So, but it's double. I messed up. So let me clean it up a little, okay? Let me clean it up a little. Next time I should move this way up. Is Agatha here? Is Charity here?
Yes, we're here. I'm here.
Is Azia here? And is Aziat here? So we're getting the same thing
Yes,
also.
I'm here.
Aziat is here also. So we're getting the same information on both ends. When you do, we can't do one line anymore because we have advanced that stage. So we can do with REPL, and we can also do with saving the thing in a .py, save it in a tx, put it in a notepad, and then save it at .py, and then run it through the command. And it's so easy to run. That's why I chose Python, because I don't want to come give you guys headache with all these high level languages that have a lot of strict ways of doing things. You guys might lose me, and I'm afraid I don't want to lose you guys, and you guys be like, man, that guy wasn't good at all. That's because of him. I wouldn't learn this anymore. So you guys have to understand I'm worried about that too. So 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 I chose this one to make sure that everything is going well. So who's N2? Edicon is not here. And N2 is oh, I know who N2 is. Judine,
Yes, I'm here.
everything going all right, I guess.
Yes, so far.
Oh, all right, very good. Natalie is here, Rolando is here, Charity is here, Aziat is here. The only person that's missing today is Eddie Kong, right? Eddie Kong is missing. So most of the stuff we did today are very practical, right, guys? Right, guys? Are you guys here with me?
I think you were breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
breaking
could
up
you say it
again.
again, please?
I said, is everything here practical? Can you see what we are doing?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So that's what we want.
Yes,
We wanted
just
to
need lots of practice.
exactly lots of practice. So now the code that we run is very simple code. Remember what we talked about? You're going from left to right. You have a variable. A variable is a placeholder or name identifier. So here we have a name identifier I, and that I is assigned, 5 was assigned to that I. And we are using our print method to print I. If we print I, what should we get?
5.
Okay. Now, since now you understand that we are printing the 5 because we assigned 5 to I, what if we take that 5 and we add 1 to it and assign it to I? What should we get now?
6.
Exactly. We should get 6. When we print I, we print 6. And now we have an S and triple quotation, and we have this is a multi-line string full stop. Remember what happened there, full stop. It's not the one that I did when I put all of them in one string in the same line. But this one is a triple. Okay, let's print it. Let's do it here so you guys get it. See this? See this? So let's go to REPL and do it. REPL is a good place, good way to go. So we go to REPL, we do that. Once you see that, you know it's about to spit. Now it's spit. See? Right? So have anybody thought about what if we posted this and we remove the print method? What will it look like? Like nothing, right? It's nothing. Okay? Right? So we assigned this to the variable, but we didn't use the variable anywhere, so we get nothing. But if we would have copied it and printed it, like if we had copied it and go and print it, then it would have been a different story because we are just interpreting a string. But we give a variable something, but we're not using it like that. See, you will just come up with a quote emphasizing That's what it is basically. But if we assign this to a variable, like what we've done over here, and we say s is equal to, I do the same thing here, and it's zero because the variable wasn't used. It's a null, empty space. But now, if we use the variable and say print that variable s, you don't have to quote it, it will print because it's a variable. You have to represent it as it is, and then you print it out there. So imagine you did print s like we normally do print s, right, like that, and we go this, that, and we don't do format. We have to put something in the format. Maybe we put another s. Let's see what happens. No. Maybe you put another x and you say equal to 5, right? And then you go here and you close it. Let's see what we get. I'm not too optimistic about this, but we did it. So this is a multi-line s format. S is equal to 5. S is equal to 5. Rather, 5 is assigned to x. But nowhere did we use x. So what does that tell us to do now? So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go back and try to use x. How about we do this? How about we do x like that? Does anybody have an idea of what else we can do? Maybe x plus that. So that's a problem because it's telling us it's not declared. I think the other one is capital, right? Capital X, is it? No, it's a small letter x. So it's not defined accurately. Can somebody tell me what's wrong here, please? Somebody knows what's wrong. Just say it. Just say it. The type is different. I didn't declare that as an integer. So it wouldn't work that way. So let's just say up. Okay? Let's say up. Why did I put capital? Guys, pay attention. Guys, pay attention. So what is wrong here? It says x is not defined, but I defined the x assign it to you. I defined
Parentheses, like I mean, in like, does the quotation have to go by the X where it's in the format part?
yes, I would think so. I would think so. Hold on. Let's do it. So we do print. Do print x.
Does it have to be quotation?
Like I'm thinking
No.
more parentheses should be there. Like this. And then
Okay.
the x is already there. And then I did the format, right? And then I go x is assigned to this up, right? So let's see what we get. So s is assigned to this, s dot this, but s is already been defined, so I have to start all over to do this. So this is our x. This is our x, right? No, this is our x here. right? Fine. Then I printed this. This one worked for us when we printed it because we didn't really format anything, right? Now, if you wanted to format something and that thing we wanted to be a part of here, so we can let's say this is kind of tricky, but I'll figure it out. You have to be a part of what is already here. How can we make it happen? I have to be a part of that. So if I, okay, this is a multi-line string of 5. Let's do it that way. Okay, I will redo it. This is a multi-line string of, of, okay, let's do it. Yeah, multi-line string of 5. Let's see if it'll work. Yeah. So if we put 5 here, right? And we close it. Let's put x here, right? Are you guys getting me? I'm trying to do something amazing here. So this is a multi-string of x, right? This is a second line. So this is what I want to do. Okay, at least we have that. So now I'll print s, okay? Okay, I'll print x. So now if I go and declare x as a variable, like right here, I go here, declare x as a variable, that x is equal to 5, and I put a string here. I make it a string and show that it's a string. Okay, so now we have print s dot format x is equal to 5. It took one argument, and I go like that. You see, I tricked it. You guys see it? Hello, guys. Did you guys see it?
Yes, yes, I see it.
So it's the trick. You tricked it. So it's easy. So you just have to play around it, and before you know it, you are the best of the best there is. You put your heart to it, just like Janelle and Natalie. They are spending a lot of time in Python because they see how powerful it is, and it's easy and understandable. I mean, you can come up with a custom way of writing Python. That's how interesting this program is. I'm telling you guys, man. You can just come up. That reminds me, I gotta for those of you that are interested in things like
Is
this.
there, can
So
you get certified in Python or is it?
yeah, you can get certified in Python. There's program, there's a certification in Python. Trust
Okay.
me, there are. So I wanted for those of you that are interested in interested in things, I could also introduce you guys to the script. It's my language. This is the script we use. It's very easy. It's like you're writing a code. Okay. So when you look at this, the script, the format, it reminds you of Python. How easy it is to put regular expressions, which has roots, diametrics, and what they call radicals and stuff like that. You will see that it's amazing. So I'm just sharing it to you that the language itself that we speak is like a form of programming. Okay. It's like form of programming. The same thing we're doing with Python. It's the same thing here. You have the vowels, the constraints, the numbers. You have a way of writing it. You have a way of writing vowels. You have a way of writing numbers, you have a way, all that stuff. This is pure programming. So humans have been programming from the very beginning of times. So if some of you want a cool stuff, COVID think tank, COVID ideas, you can use this to make up your names and print it on t-shirts, and you will be rocking. All right, so that's just that. So
could you post the link in the group, please? This is proper interesting stuff.
yeah. Actually, this can write any language in the world. What you're looking at can write any language. Like for instance, you see the vowels here. They have different accentuation of the vowels, different accentuation of all the vowels. It has more than 8 vowels. It has up to 10. So sometimes N and M are considered as vowels in some of our languages. So this can write any language you can think of, and it can actually create new way of writing any language you can think of because it covers. It's a modern script. It's not like an olden script. It's a very modern script. All right. So I'll put the link for those who are interested to play with that and move forward. I think we'll wrap it up here. I think you guys are getting the hang of the program. I'm happy about that. I'm very proud of you guys. And just to give you guys a little inventory of what we are doing, because I want you guys to see that we are almost done. Is I will go and show you guys how far we've gotten, and then we'll go from there. So we will go to our favorite book, our idea book, which nobody reads. I recommend that we start reading that. So here, let me see. Okay, this is our favorite book, the idea book. I'm gonna go in here, and so we've done a lot so far. I think we've covered half of the whole thing. So what we need to do next, once we finish programming in Python, we'll write a couple of stuff, and will help ourselves understand the line of codes, what they are doing, as we've been doing as we moved along. We have done, we haven't touched security as yet. We've done network. You've done what you need to know in subnet masking and all of that, and now we are doing computer high level programming language, which is here. It falls under here, but we didn't touch it at the very beginning. Okay. After we did the computer stuff, it was somewhere here. User interface. Okay, it was somewhere here. So now we're doing it. We're just gonna do Python. Once we finish the Python, we write a few more codes. We've already done network. We've done hardware, software, operating system. We've done that. Internet and the web, we've done that. So now we will do CISP, CISSP. We'll do this. And I'm not sure what you guys have done with the groups that are taking care of anything. So I want to know right now who is doing what. I know Janelle, Natalie, and Edicon were doing 7 and 8. Who is doing 6 and 5? And who is doing 3 and 4? And who is doing 1 and 2? Let's square it out right now because the dynamics have changed. There's a shift in our dynamics. All right. So there's a shift in our dynamics. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got cut out for a minute here. Let me share the screen again. I share the screen again.
Share the screen again.
All right.
All right.
me see if I'm double
Let me
sharing.
see if I'm double sharing the screen.
I think I am double
I
sharing.
think I am double sharing this.
Okay. Let me
Okay.
remove this.
Let me.
Right? All right, we're back again. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me, but all of a sudden I'm having
You can hear
problem.
me, but all of a sudden I'm having a problem.
I don't know where the problem is coming from.
I don't know where the problem is coming from.
Let me see what I've
Let
done
me
wrong.
see what I've done wrong.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, I saw it.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Let me turn this one off
Let me turn this one off
immediately.
immediately.
I see it.
Let's see it.
Can you guys still see me? Somebody please help.
We can see your screen.
Screen.
You can see me?
We can see your screen.
We see your screen.
You see my screen. But my screen is doubling up. Yeah, my screen is doubling up. How is now? Okay, it's good now. The problem is gone. The problem is gone, ladies. Okay. If you can hear me, just raise your hand. I'm gonna share this so we can wrap it up. We've come a long way. So can somebody tell me what they're doing?
I can hear you.
Yeah, who's doing what? Who's doing 5 and 6, 3 and 4, 1 and 2? Because I know who's doing 7 and 8 is Janelle, Edicon, and Natalie. Who's doing the rest? Because I outlined it here, but apparently nobody followed up. Like I outlined it right here.
I think we did ours with Agatha and I don't remember the third person. Asia. Yeah.
So
So
which
Asia,
one is that?
Charity, and Agatha, three and four.
3 and 4 is you guys. You guys already
Three and
put.
four.
Okay. So who 7 and 8? I know who is that. 3 and 4. I have here 3 and 4, but there's no document here. You're supposed to post it here under this concept. You're supposed to post all your work or summary under this
We
concept.
posted under the written.
Huh?
We put it in the form of submission folder.
Submission folder. No. It was supposed to go here because I can't move them here. It was supposed to be done like Edicon and Natalie and Janelle did it. Look at their work. See how they did it? Because
Oh, okay.
you
I
guys
didn't
gonna have
realize.
to
Okay.
explain it to this class with my help because I'm gonna be interpreting the whole thing. But you have to explain it because how would you know it if you can't explain it? That's the idea. And now when you know how you can explain it, it's gonna help you in your field, your career. So when it comes to the point where you need to do it, it will be so easy for you. Be like, how did I do it? Because you practice it with the team, and you got really good at it. So that's how we do that part. So from what you've seen so far, you see all we have left is virtualization. We are doing well. So once we do virtualization, I show you guys stuff on hypervisor. You can't do virtualization without understanding hypervisor. Alright, so most of you guys already know, like Janelle and Agatha, they know what we're talking about when we say hypervisor. Yeah, so it's pretty much you know, something that allows a virtual operation to happen on a hardware where the the nodes don't even know they're sitting on the hardware. So you have the guest machine and you have the host. So the guest machine will be okay. Let's use a drawing here to show some stuff. So hypervisor technology is one of these newer technology that came up. It's been around for a while, but it has been perfected. The skills have been perfected. You know, virtual machine, okay, VMMs, the pen is here. So there are some of the types that you need to know in hypervisors. There's type 2 hypervisor, there's type 1 hypervisor. Can somebody tell me type 1 hypervisor what they are? I know some of you guys know already. Type 1 hypervisor, type 2 hypervisor. If you know, don't be shy, tell us. We want to know what you know.
The one that you outside of it doesn't need the operating system. It operates outside of the operating system.
That's right. It needs no operating system. Type 1 needs no operating system. Type 2 needs operating system.
Yeah, type one. It's a virtual machine. Basically, it can create other virtual machines. It can operate outside of the operating system, so it doesn't need Windows or Linux or whatever to operate.
Absolutely.
It can.
That means you are reading the book. Very good. That's very good. Awesome.
Oh, I've skimmed through it, but this is from memory.
So hypervisor is here, and now here there's no operating system. You see, here there's no operating system.
And
Instead,
if you operate memory to it, say if you operate it, if you assign 8 gig to it, and it doesn't use it, if it doesn't need all of it, it won't use all of it.
that's right. So example of them are here. Some of you know them. Some of you that have been in the field for a long time. Remember ESSS? Okay. Version, I stopped at version 6.5. That's the last time I used ESSS. Then there's also Oracle. Not necessarily Oracle, but there's vSphere. There's not vSphere, I would say Citrix. You guys remember Citrix? These are some of the type 1, those ones that came up back in the days. Okay? It doesn't need OS. But if you put OS here, if you say OS here, then you change the whole thing. If you put OS here, you change the whole dynamics. If you put OS around here, you change the whole thing. If you are running on OS, it changes. That means you are talking about VMware, right? VMware, VM player, workstation, you're talking about VirtualBox, you're talking about Virtual PC from Microsoft, and etc. etc. Does that make sense, guys? So the other diagram is for when you don't have the operating system. All right. So now, if you have operating system, which this represents the operating system here. Okay. So the orange part. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So now the orange part represents the OS. The OS operating system, which could be Linux, Windows, Mac. Okay, Mac. Okay, Linux. Okay, so that represent operating system, but you still have the hypervisor in between the operating system and this other, like this one could be virtual PC. You guys know virtual PC? I'm about to show you guys some stuff. Every one of you need to get one of this not virtual PC, but VMware player. So you have VMware by VMware. VMware were the first people that made the ESSS. Okay, don't forget VMware workstation player 12 workstation 12 plus. They have up to 15 or whatever. There's also VirtualBox, VirtualBox by Oracle. So these are the this is like type 2. They need operating system. Type 1 doesn't need operating system. Always remember that. So if you remove operating system in type 2, you get type 1. Okay. So that means type 2 here, you need operating system. So if you remove the yellow part, the orange part, and remove the operating system, then all you have here running will be ESS, and they will be running. Actually, let me make a different diagram for that, so I don't want to confuse you guys. So you have type 2 here. Let's select. So you have type 2. Let's just put that down. Type 2. Type 2. So we're leaving very soon, guys. Don't worry, we're all done. So this type 2. You can check the book too to clarify. So that's type 2. So next thing we have to do now is to get a better idea of type 1. Type 1 now will be we'll change here. Okay, we'll change here. Can somebody help me change it? Idea of what to do. We have to remove this, right? We have to remove this. Are you guys with me? Everyone with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we
Oh,
have to
you
remove
turn
that.
home.
So we leave the hypervisor where it is. We don't need operating system anymore. Now this means that we have the VMMs. These are what we call the guests, right? These are the guests. You have a bunch of VMs here. It's guest VM, right? These are guest VM. Okay. They could be called a different name given the host. Okay, they could be called a different name given the host. But these are the ones without they don't need to be sitting on an operating system. So you have Citrix, you have ESS 6.5. That's the last one I used, and you create this VM virtual machines here. Okay, but they are running under this bare metal. bare metal machines. Okay, does that make sense? So you don't need operating system anymore. No more operating system, gone. So in that case, you have type 1, sorry. You have type 1. This is a type 1 hypervisor. No more. You don't have any operating system. So this becomes your type 1. So guess VMs are running inside it. Okay, that's it for us today. And let me know what you guys think, and always keep me updated of what difficulties you have so that we can take care of it together. So we're wrapping up the class. This is Josiah again at the end of the class for IT Foundation and AWS Cloud Training, codename iFACT. And this is implemented by Each One Teach One, supported by Lofton NLC. And I thank you guys for showing up. And we are getting really close to the end of the most difficult part of the class, as we'll go into virtualization. Once we round up with the Python, we'll continue with Python. And once we finish with Python, we go into virtualization, which includes a hypervisor and learning other the cloud concept, subsequently the cloud concept, and then security in the cloud, which CISSP will help us. And we continue with that cloud concept where we talk about use cases and how they are used and all the rest of them. This is the part that will get you the job. So I thank you guys again as always, and we're gonna wrap up now. Thank you guys for showing up.
Thanks, Teach.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
All right, guys.
Bye.